My name is Naya Aldrich, and today I'm going to be showing you how I use a reflector to enhance my natural light photos. So I think a lot of people miss out and sleep on just how amazing and powerful the reflector is. I will tell you, people call me the reflector girl because whenever I go on a trip, this is something that I do not leave the house without. It has saved me so many countless times on my outdoor trips. Anytime I even have off-camera flash, it goes out, I pop in a reflector and it saves me. So a reflector is a really powerful tool. You can add, subtract, and even cut down your light. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how I personally use a reflector when I'm shooting outdoors. So before we get started, I thought we'd do a quick overview of the 5-in-1 reflector. So here's what each of these materials are great for. The silver gives the most output. It's the most reflective surface, the most bounce. It can be very harsh, but it can be very powerful. To overpower the sun, to even out, to match the sunlight, to match the background. The white, really soft, less noticeable sometimes, be great, nice to fill shadows and give a little bit of bounce, but softer. And now we have the sunlight gold, which is really similar in the sheen and shine to the silver, but has more of that warm tone, which is really good for giving just a slight warmness, but still that punchy, beautiful light like the silver. Now we have the black, which is great for cutting out the light. It's a good negative fill, a good blocker. And then of course, last but not least, we have the diffuser. Now the diffuser is great for cutting that light, making super soft from those shadows as you go higher and lower and closer to your subject. You're gonna see how the light gets softer and wraps around your subject. All right, we're using a 30-inch silver reflector today, and I'm gonna show you how I'm using it to balance out the harsh shadows with my set today. All right, so we have Sage positioned in the shadow, as you can kind of see, but everything behind her is direct in the sun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my silver reflector to kind of balance it out and even it out, just to give a little bit of harshness. So as you can see, the sun is directly over here. So what's going on is the sun is hitting my reflector and then bouncing back into Sage. So a little trick that I like to do is kind of where I'm trying to find the sun, is I find it and then I like to kind of tilt it until I can find her right here. And then I kind of move around until it's perfect. Now something with light colored eyes like Sage is we want to make sure that we can try and position the reflector to the side of her if we can. And then I'm going to be shooting more over here so that she's not directly looking into the silver and blinding herself. Now, something else to be aware of is the reason that I'm farther away from her and not closer is the silver can be overpowering and really hard on the model's eyes, like I've talked about with the blue. But also, what you can kind of run into is if I do get really close to her, you can see how it's really, really hard on her eyes. There's no way that she's gonna be able to open up her eyes. So as I move farther away, it's a lot easier and a lot less bright on her face so that she's not squinting in all of her photos. So that's just my tip. If it is too bright, you can switch to the white side for a lot softer look or move away, find where that sun is, and have her in the shadow and then fill it in that way. The reason I wanted to use the silver today is the white would be soft, but not poppy enough. And you're gonna see that as I go and shoot later today of when I'm using my white and when I choose the silver. I'm gonna be using the 30-inch reflector with the sunlight gold. Now what I like about it is it's not too gold, it's a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold. And what's great is the sun is actually reflecting on the concrete, it's reflecting on this, and it's a little bit kind of a gold cast right now. So it's reflecting gold back onto her face. So something with like the sunlight, it kind of gives a balance and it's able to even it out, where if I was using the white or the silver, it does give kind of like a blue cast right now. So this just gives a little bit more balance, and since it's not gold like your typical reflector, it's more of a sunlight, it's not as crazy like, Basically, what I'm doing is I'm filling in those shadows. The light, the natural light, it's great, but I can basically use the reflector just to give a little bit something more. What I'm looking for is just a nice extra little pop of something. It's subtle, but it does add some catchlights in her eyes as well as fill in the shadows. Normally, I'm not going completely like this. I like to have it a little bit angled, and I'm playing as she moves because sometimes I'll have different shadows depending on how she's laying, how she's sitting, if her elbow's covering. And so I'm just filling in the shadows of wherever her hair is casting a shadow, wherever her arm is, and adding just a little bit more life into her eyes, because that does what gives that extra something in the connection within your subject. For with the reflector position that I'm using today, I'm using it more as a fill light. So the direction as far as low, high, to the side is gonna be a lot more variable. And so that's why it is really important as she's moving. I'm constantly making slight adjustments and moving the reflector and like what I think looks best. Since it is bouncing off, that is the key light. The light does look soft. I'm just using it as that subtle fill. So we're using a 50-inch diffuser right now, and basically what's happening is the sun is something like high noon. It's not the best time to shoot, not optimal. Basically, the light is right here. Go ahead and take it away. It's right here, it's blinding, it creates these raccoon shadows. It's really hard to look at you. And so what we do is we bring in a big diffuser, a 50-inch to be exact, because it's great for cutting light, especially when there's one person, two people, and in this case, the flowers and her. We bring in the diffuser. It is a part of our story. It is a part of like this. The yellow does really pop, especially with the white and Sage's blue eyes. We really want to capture not just her, but a little bit of foreground, middle ground, background with the flowers and the bokeh. So adding something like the diffuser makes it so that I can capture photos that weren't actually possible before. I'm gonna go ahead, since the sun is behaving, I'm gonna go ahead and use the white side just because it is gonna fill in a lot softer on these shadows. Good, so right now the sun is really bright. It's right over here, so the silver would be very, very bright and she wouldn't be able to open up her eyes and look at me. It still is a little bit bright for her, but she can take breaks, and if she doesn't look right into it and have me right here, it does help a little bit. So I try and refrain from holding it too far, like up close to her and like right in like that, because if the sun is right here and it's blinding, she can kind of be a little bit squinty, especially with the silver. So the white is a bit forgiving, but I do try often to have it a little to the side in here and then have my camera over just a bit so she's not looking directly at it, so it's a little bit easier on her eyes. So we used the 50-inch diffuser as the sun was coming in and creating really harsh, unflattering light on the subject's face. So when we brought it closer, we hid all of that crazy light, we cut the light, we diffused the light, we made it softer. Now, as it was above her, we could then put in a silver and a white to basically fill in those shadows underneath, give some light, give some character in her eyes. And as the sun did go in and out between the clouds, I switched between the silver whenever it was cloudy, and then I would use the white when the sun did come out, as the light output did change a little bit. So don't be afraid to play. And what's great about these reflectors is the silver and the white are on one side. A lot of reflectors I've used in the past are silver and gold. So this is my favorite go-to reflector, and I love that I can just really quickly and easily go from white to silver. So there you have it. There's some of my favorite ways that I use a reflector in my shoots when I shoot outdoors. I would love to know in the comments how you use your reflectors. Thanks for watching.